Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Since we're celebrating a new year, today I wanted to take some time to talk to you about resetting your properties for the new upcoming year. One of the first things you're going to want to do is take a look at your current listings. So I went through both of my properties today and found a number of errors on both the Airbnb and the VRBO platforms. The other thing to consider are the photos in your listing and whether or not those will need updating because perhaps you've replaced artwork or have new furniture in the home that is not shown in the photos. Another thing I think is important is to show seasonal changes in your photos. So I have pictures of the front of my property with a lot of snow and also in the middle of summertime. So if you have those, think about setting those up for the first photo that shows to be the one of the current season. And then as you get into summertime, you're updating that with the upcoming season. Now I try to think about booking ahead. So at this point in the season, we're midway through winter. I'm thinking of people booking for spring and early summer. So I'm updating those photos. Remember to check your prices, especially for your busiest times. I do not recommend using Airbnb's smart pricing. I think it's really terrible actually. So I recommend that you set your own prices. And I like to use a pricing software. Like PriceLabs is the one that I use, but there are a couple others out there. That helps gauge the popularity of certain dates and adjust the prices accordingly. Another thing that is important to do at the end of the year is to go back and look at your accounting of the previous year. So this is where you can go back in time and look at your purchases and make sure you have receipts for all of your purchases and that's documented and tracked for your taxes. Also, check your income. So Airbnb and VRBO allow you to download a spreadsheet and you can track it that way. And I track it independently and then I print out their copy and justify it against the copy that I have for the year as well. Another thing I recommend you do is keep a record of all of your guests. And I try to get their phone numbers and their personal emails as well. So end of the year is a good time to go back in time if you can still capture that information. Sometimes if they're not currently your guest, you can't see that anymore, but that's important for future advertising. So try to keep a record and the contact information for all of the guests who have stayed at your home. The start of a new year is a good time to plan your future expenses for the upcoming year. And by this, I mean the big purchases that are going to help you add value or improve the value of your home. So as an example, this last year, we added new appliances and a heat pump to our property. And because of that, I've raised the rates a little bit. So if you have an older home or a home that doesn't have a lot of fancy amenities, think about year over year, how can you add something special? And remember, every time you're thinking about your property, you're trying to find a way to make it really stand out, something really specific for your property that all of the other properties don't have in your area. So that's a way that you can capture bookings by speaking to your specific audience and trying to find something that they are looking for in their bookings. It's also a good time to plan your expenses as far as upgrading the things in your home, such as linens, throw pillows, things like that. So take a good inventory of what you have on hand that might need to be replaced in the upcoming year, and then determine how you can spread that out throughout the year so you don't have one huge expense all at one time. Another important thing to think about is making sure you've blocked out your vacation time in that home if you plan to use it. So before your summer is completely booked, if you want to use the property, go in now and block out your dates. Blocking out dates is another way to drive scarcity to make it seem that your property is being booked by a lot of people, and it might help convince future guests who are looking to book your property. So some people will go in and block out a few weekends throughout the summer, and then as you're getting closer to that time, they'll peel those off of the calendar and make them available. And you might try that strategy as well. Finally, don't forget to track all of the hours that you are spending working on your properties. And there's a number of reasons why you're going to want to do this, mainly for tax purposes. And I'm speaking specifically to people who plan to do a cost segregation and use that for tax purposes on the year that they put the property into service. So if you don't know what that is, you can send me a message and I can tell you more about it. But essentially, if you're going to go that route, you're going to want to start at the very beginning of the year. Okay, in summary, you're going to update your listings, including the photos. You're going to check pricing, including your busy season. Make sure you've finalized all of your records for this last year and plan your big upgrades for this year. Okay guys, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. As we're building an audience, I want to make sure that you are aware when I release new videos, and we've got a lot planned for this upcoming year, so please join me back again next time. Thanks, have a great day.